My name is Aaron, and I like to fix stuff. Today, we're going to be working on this Honda 4x4 Fourtrax. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and I am proud to say it finally happened. For years, I had been watching YouTube and guys posting things that they had gotten for free and being like, well, that stuff never happens to me. You know, there's never cool stuff just being given away. And then, lo and behold, this comes along. So, I think back in probably May or June, I had put a posting on the Nextdoor app saying that I was picking up, unwanted riding lawnmowers, snowblowers, you name it. And I had pretty good success with that. I think I did it last year too, and I got 5 or 6 riding lawnmowers. This year I got, several riding lawnmowers, a couple snowblowers, a couple other things that I don't want to divulge right now because they're still in the works. But we did a Craftsman, I think it was an LT 1000 riding lawnmower a little while ago. I went to go pick that up from the guy. Super good condition. He had used it at his in-laws. They had passed away, so he no longer needed it, and it just kind of sat and blah, blah, blah. We fixed it up and sold it. While I was there, I had already had a lawnmower on the trailers, and I picked up his, so my trailer was full. While I'm there, he goes, hey, do you want this Honda four-wheeler? And I've been looking for a four-wheeler for a long time, just for around the property, to help us take care of stuff. So first things first, I am keeping this this ATV, because for one, it's in immaculate shape. Like, all of the plastic is intact. There are no cracks in this thing. The seat is perfect. It's a Honda, which makes me feel better. But yeah, he's like, if you want it, you can have it. I was like, I will be back here in about 10 minutes. And I had to run home, unload those 2 lawnmowers, and I got back there before he could change his mind, because I was doing some research after the fact. I believe this is from 1986. And even though that's the case and it's that old, these things, in working, running condition can be anywhere from, I found some that were sold for $3,500, and I found some that were sold up to $12,000. So I'm not sure what would make it that valuable, but needless to say, I'm pretty confident that this is going to be a good machine and good for us around the property. So he did tell me that this rear tire loses air, and it is flat. It's been sitting here since, like I said, like May, probably April or May. I don't really remember exactly when it was, but you guys might have caught it. This front one's low too. You might have caught it when I was doing the electric mobility scooter. But comes with the battery in here. And that has, even though it's been sitting for that long, we'll check here. I think that has held a charge, at least somewhat. There we get our temp light. Let's see, it's got the lights work. You got high and low. So I'm not sure. This is just, it's a nice looking machine. There's a manual choke here. Brakes. There's something interesting. This is kind of a different setup. At least I don't have a ton of ATV experience, or quad, some of you guys call it. It seems backwards on the gear shift, where up is to increase, and then down is to go down, and then into neutral, and then you have to like push this button and then go down for reverse one more or something. I don't really know. He was trying to explain it to me, and I don't remember what it was, but like I said, it's been a while. But there is a parking brake that you can lock in. Like, everything seems to work, right? It's just, it doesn't run. And the guy said that he used it around his property to help take care of it, and then it was getting harder and harder to start. So he was done, and he wanted to buy a new one. So he's like, you know, if you take this off my hands, then I can get a new one. So I was like, okay. Let me find somewhere to put you guys. So, like I said, seat's in great condition, and it's even got, I know because I put it in here, it's got the original Honda tool set, like complete. I know it's not a huge deal, but it's just kind of cool to see. Like, I thought if I was ever gonna get a free ATV, that it would be all beat up and whatnot. But this thing is awesome. So I've been excited to get into it, and I haven't had time because I've been flipping a lot of mowers this year. It's hard to justify spending time and money on a project for me when I know that I can make some money flipping other stuff. So I don't know if you guys probably aren't going to be able to see in here, but that's an issue. The gas tank is full of just sludge. So that's definitely going to have to be addressed. And I mean, this whole thing needs a bath. I'm probably going to keep it under the shed just so I can work on it. It's going to take me a while. But I think what we should do is take off some of these plastics, you know, some of these covers, just to make things a little bit easier so we can see what's going on. I'm not sure exactly how much we're going to have to take off, but the air cleaner is underneath here. And carburetor is sitting right down underneath there, so this would be really handy. I don't know if that comes out. That would be handy to get off, but in order to do so, we got to take this plastic off, and that's like the whole front end. So we're gonna have to spend some time zipping out a whole bunch of stuff just to get the plastics off, and then we can go ahead and address it. Because if it's just a starting issue and taking a look at that gas tank, I'm thinking that we can just rebuild the carb, flush out the gas tank, and be ready to go. There might be more to it than that, but that's my initial thought. So let me get set up here. I got to grab some tools, and we'll start diving into this thing. All right, so these ones are going to be 10 mil. I'm not sure if these washers will stay. Yeah, it looks like they'll stay. These side ones, I think, just pop out. These little guys. So we can put them somewhere. It'd be nice if it broke right there, you know. We need a big old screwdriver. And then it's hard to tell. There's a lot of different, there's a lot of hardware, but it's hard to tell like what actually mounts it to the frame. Okay, the side ones are like a big Phillips. I don't know if it's a JIS or not. Flathead works too. It looks like these have been taken out a few times. They've been a little stripped. So I'm just gonna kind of, oh my gosh. Oh, that's not good. Yes, I dropped a bolt. Found the bolt. Lost the little washer, but it's a special washer, of course. It's this guy. It's got a shoulder on it, so I'm gonna have to keep looking for that. But I got this side cover off. These are all 10mm with more of these shouldered washers. I'm assuming it's going to be the same on the other side. I'm still working on this side. There's a lot of mounting points for this front, what you want to call it, the whole plastic. I mean, it's like the whole machine, so obviously there's going to be a lot of points of contact, but kind of makes it a pain for removal. I was thinking I would break it here, but these ones do not want to come out. So I might have to take these bottom ones and take the black fender with it. I don't know yet. It's like, I just want to get in here, so maybe I don't even need to do all that stuff. With these two side ones out, I can kind of get in here. Let's do that. That seems way smarter. Like I said, this is new to me. I'm sure some of you ATV guys are going to be laughing at me, but goal for today is to get the carburetor out so we can get it on the bench and start cleaning it up. This one looks like it's got maybe a ground to it. So we get this little panel out. Now we can see our air cleaner, or the intake and the carburetor. So we could probably get this intake out of the way and just get that carb off. Alright, let's get this intake out of the way. Loosen up these clamps. I told the guy too, it's like, I want to do a full, I don't want to say rebuild or restoration because it's not in that bad a shape. It's like, this thing is nice enough to warrant at least doing a carb rebuild. And we got a bolt there holding it there. Okay. I'm curious how the gas tank could be that dirty. Like, I mean, it's I know I said it's hard to see it in the camera, but it is filthy. And it doesn't look like dirt. It doesn't look like old gas. It just looks nasty. So it's really bolted in there. Well, the pre-filter is pretty worn. I'm not sure. Is this like, yeah, but you could undo this and slide the filter out. I'm not sure. It's oily. It might be an oiled filter, but seems a little strange. So we know we need one of those. Now for this carb, let's see. A lot of different stuff going on in here. Alright, I got the slide out from this side back here. That was a 14 millimeter again. I'm having a hard time with these little hose clamps. They're like, they're just different than what I'm used to. But I gotta get, there's one on the back side here. It's weird how, like, I do predominantly riding mowers, and I like learning about new things, but I am out of my element on this thing. Like, I don't know what anything is. I don't know how to take anything apart. It's just weird. I'm going to get one pick. I'll show you when I get one of these things off. It's not like a typical hose clamp that I'm used to on a riding mower. You don't squeeze it together, you spread it apart. You see that? It's got these two little retainers that you have to spread apart. I don't know, it's just different. So now I gotta get, there's one right on this side. Maybe there's a tool for this, but I don't know. There's those two. I got a bigger one on the side here. Okay, just work it with the one, I guess. This red one here on the side. Not a lot of room to work in here. Okay, that one's off. There's one on the bottom. Yeah, I think maybe I'll try to get the whole carb out so I can get at that one on the bottom a little bit easier. Just like a hose clamp here on the back. I think that's the only thing holding it. Okay. No. I guess the hard part is going to be remembering which one goes where. Maybe it'll make sense, but okay. This one's on the bottom. That must just be a drain. And then this one is on the right, this one's on the left. So now we just got to get this thing out, but I suppose we can unthread it like so. Now what? Okay. So that is our throttle cable. Should be able to take that out, and then this pops out. And we're free. Let's bring this into the shed, get it on the bench, and then we'll take a better look. All right, let's dive into this thing. I thought these would be JIS screws, but maybe not. Okay, it looks like they are. It's got the dot, but I am not. I got one. Just don't have one big enough. It's just stripping. Oh, well, that throws a wrench in things already.
Not after it start.
Well, I mangled them, but they're out. So I gotta get 4 new screws. It's not the best start, but let's get this bowl off and see what it looks like. That's oily. Dirty and oily. Let me get this jet out. I don't think it's, I mean, that jet looks a little plugged. It's dirty, don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's not nearly as dirty as the fuel tank, so that's good. Float and the needle. It's a rubber tip needle. It's got a little corrosion on it. I think the top just retains the slide. Is there another jet in there? Yeah. This pin here is for the slide. I suppose, I mean, we're here. Let's just pop it off and see what's inside. Provided that I don't strip these screws out too. Yeah, just the slide. I really don't see a whole lot in here that needs attention, which is good and bad. I was kind of hoping that there'd be an obvious thing that I could point to and say, well, aha, that's why it wasn't running well. But that's not really the case, so I will address these jets. Like I said, this one looks a little restricted. And then I think I'm going to order a new gasket set for the carb. And those 4 screws. It's about a week later, maybe 2. I was waiting on parts. Carburetor's back on. Everything's reinstalled, put back together. It's the same as taking it apart, just in reverse. I haven't put this little support bracket back in yet because I want to get the gas tank out so I can do a thorough job of cleaning it. And just looking at it, I'm not sure exactly how it comes out. Looks like we've got these 10 millimeter nuts here on either side that kind of squish together to hold it. I got one 10 millimeter here. There's a skid plate that looks like it might have some bolts going through it. Not sure about that. So I think either way, I got to take the skid plate out, and maybe we can undo these 2 struts and jack up the rear end, and so that way the axle will drop, and then we can pull the tank out from behind. That's my plan anyways. So I suppose we should probably start under here and get working on that. These are probably going to be bigger than what I have. And these ones are, yeah, these are just like rubber bushings, kind of, to insulate it. So probably just got to take these 2 out, and the skid plate will come out. These 2 are 14 millimeter. And then I thought it was just hanging there on the front. I don't see anything. That is solid. What is holding you on? Besides this giant spider web. More of these insulator. I don't see any. Oh, you know what? They're on the side. Maybe. Like right here. Possibly. Can't tell. If it is, it's just that one side. But I would think that there would be more. No, that's not it. What in the world? I mean, it's on there still. Just gotta put a little more leverage, I guess. Alright, so we can see the bottom of the fuel tank. And I don't see anything else holding it on down here. We're still going to have to loosen these struts and take those out. But I think it's just this whole thing wraps around like a strap. And really it's just connected here to the axle. So we could do two things. We could either separate this, or at least loosen it so that way the tank will slide out, or we could probably just take these ones off and take this whole strap out with it. So we can either take these ones off where this whole strap mounts to the frame, and then this one of course, or we can loosen it on the sides and try to slide the tank out from that strap. I think this would be easier because these ones might be kind of hard to line up. So what size is that going to be? Yeah, 14. I gotta get a socket for that one. But I do have a 10, so we can get this one out. Alright. So with those 4 bolts removed, it just took off these little brackets, and now the tank is flopping around in here. Feels pretty loose. We're gonna have to take the fuel line off on the side here, down here, and then like I said, we got to work on getting these struts out. So it's a 17 millimeter and a 15, I believe. No, maybe not. $17 and a 14. Ooh, that's on there. I have to get the impact on for that. Let's see if we can do this other one over here, because this one has a differential kind of in the way, so I don't think I can get impact on it. This one's moving at least. Yeah, there we go.
And that's why I get a spare off by him. So I can get a big socket too. That might help. I still don't know if this is going to work, but I figured I'll try this first, because I don't think it's coming out through the top. Yeah, it's going to be a pain.
And even then, like, I don't know what's going to clear here. Yeah, I'll work on that. I gotta get the other one out too. I got both struts out. This one came out, it just barely clears because it hits right along the inside here. This one I could not get out on the bottom because the bolt just runs into the differential here. So I took it off the top, and I got it on the high lift jack. This is how much spread I can get, and we're hitting here. This whole bracket can come off. I'm not going to take it off unless I have to, but for now, we're going to take this little fuel selector off because that's hitting the plastic. You can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Don't want to lose that. And then we've got our fuel line. This one on the top came off. That just goes right here. And then here's our little fuel line. We'll see if we can squeeze that off. Everything is disconnected, so let's see if we have enough room. Oh, it's really close. If I could turn it sideways, it would come out no problem. We need like a half an inch, I think. Man, that stinks. Because like this bracket has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess it's not too bad. 6 more bolts to get out. I just thought this would be so convenient. And I think we've reached the height of our... Oh. Yeah, now we're pulling on the brake lines. So that's all we got, unless we want to disconnect those. Which I don't really want to. So either we disconnect brake lines or we take out this bracket. Yeah, it's so close. Alright, I'm going to zip out. Let's see, we got one here. One here. These 2 on the back may not have to come out because I could just swing it. And then there's 2 on this side. Let me get those out. We'll try to swing this out of the way, and then we'll see what happens. Let's see if we've got it now. Holy cow. This is going to be equally fun putting it back in. I have a ratchet strap to a roof joist or rafter. Let's see if I can get just a little bit more. There we go. Holy cow. I just got this hanging up here so I could lift. Once I took out that bar from the back, this was just flopping. So I couldn't lift with that anymore. But we got it out. So let's see what we can do about cleaning it. Now that it's out, maybe you guys will be able to see in there. I don't know. That probably makes it worse. Let me get a light. Hey, can you see that? That's all. I don't even know what that is. I mean, it looks like oil. I'm not sure what that's all about. So the plan is, I'm going to fill this up. Well, not fill it. I'm going to put some fresh gas in here. I'm going to shake the bejesus out of it. Try to get that to loosen up, drain it out. Probably do that a few times. If that's not cleaning it out, I'll throw some nuts and bolts and do the same thing just to kind of agitate it. Keep doing that until we get this tank clean. Because there's no point in running it if we got all this sludge in here. So we got to get that clean. That's what came out after the first cycle. It's getting better. I'm going to keep going. Try to get a little bit cleaner. It's a little while later. I was waiting for parts and then I just kind of skipped ahead. Well, you can see we got the carburetor put back in. Air cleaner's all put back. I still have to get a filter, but I wanted to wait to make sure this thing ran. Gas tank is back in. I flushed that out as best I could, but there was, a little bit on the bottom. There's a lip on top here where I was dumping it out, but it would catch on the inside there, so I couldn't get everything. And so once I got this in, I wanted to be able to purge it, get that last little bit out of the reserve circuit, which is there's two pickups inside the tank. One is for the normal run position, and then the other one is for the reserve position. So the idea is that you would run it in the on position, and then if you run out of gas, you could flip it to the reserve, and you've got that much more because it sits lower in the tank. But that would tell you, okay, it's time to get some fuel. I did replace the fuel pump. In retrospect, that one is probably okay, but when I was trying to purge it, I was getting no fuel. I took it apart, serviced it, and it probably works fine. This is just an aftermarket one that I wanted to throw in just to eliminate that as a possibility. It was like $200 for an OEM pump, and this was like $20. So I figured it would be, it'd be worthwhile just to throw $20 at it to see if that was going to eliminate any of the problems. And I did purge the tank on the bottom there. I ran it till it was coming out clear, but you can see there's quite a bit of debris in there, so we got the rest of it out. And with that being said, let me get this out of the way here. Now we can try to fire this up. So we'll go full choke. I think choke is in this direction. Ignition is on. We're in neutral. Idles nicely. Stumbles a little bit going to high idle, but it might just need to run for a little bit to clear that out. But hey, it runs. I'd like to take this for a spin, but unfortunately we got to deal with these tires first. This one and the front one are not holding air. They look great. I'm not sure what's going on. It might just be this one's getting kind of low too. I haven't noticed any cracks. Oh yeah, they're all kind of low now. It's been sitting here for a couple months, so I guess it's not too alarming, but this one is definitely the worst out of the four. So I'm going to have to take some time and I'll pop all these tires off, spray them up, see where the air is escaping from. Hopefully it's just, we can reseat them and that'll take care of it. Because like I said, these are great condition tires. I don't want to have to buy new tires if I don't have to. I'm not sure yet. I think it's probably okay to throw a tube in these. but I'm not positive, so we'll see. I gotta deal with that though before we can test out the transmission, but it runs, so that's cool. All right, it's been a few days since I was working on this, so let's see how it fires up. It's a little bit cold out today. I think we're sitting like, I don't know, probably upper 30s. So we got a choke. Let's turn some fuel on. Half choke. It's got to warm up a little bit. It's a tight squeeze in here. I got an outboard right next to me. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. You gotta, to put it in reverse, you have to depress the trigger or the reverse button, and then pull the brake, and then engage reverse with the foot pedal. Still getting used to the concept. You have to click up to go in the forward gear, so down is reverse. Let's take the choke off. Yeah, see, I keep going down and then it goes into neutral. It needs a bath. It's dirty from sitting. I already put the pressure washer away for the winter, so it's not going to get clean until whenever the snow melts. I sprayed down all the tires. And I couldn't get any visible bubbles or leaks that were obvious, but they're still losing air. Yeah, this one's already low again. So I'm not sure what the deal is. There's no, like, they look in good condition. There's no cracks. I think these three might be kind of weather dependent. Like, it seems like they just started to lose some pressure once it got colder out, but this one had been leaking all summer. And then I was looking at it, and I don't know if you can see, but right here on the bead, there's some debris in there. I don't know if it looks like it looks like bark from a branch or something. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to reseat the bead on here. Unfortunately, I don't have any more time. I'm going to have to wrap this up for the fall here. I don't have time. I got a couple customer projects that I got to get done, and I have a ton of work to get done around the property before snow comes. So I'm going to have to end this one here, and I'll pick it up in the spring. But this thing runs awesome. It drives awesome. With me getting used to the transmission controls and whatnot, but it's fun to drive. And I'm very thankful and happy that somebody was kind enough to give this to us. So it'll get a lot of use on the property, and I'm happy about that. So all that being said, I'm going to wrap up this project here and get ready for the next one. So until next time, thanks for watching.